Hey, what is going on, you guys? My name is Sub-Zero Exabyte, and today we are going to be doing something really good today. I mean something really good and something really new. Now with that said, I am just going to be building a cool new studio for music. And we have been building some new houses for a while now, so that gets pretty complacent pretty fast. But right now we are building something new for something spectacular. So please take notes with everything that I am going to be doing today. So just make sure that whatever I am doing right now will be something that you can learn a thing or two from, and then we can go on and go out and about so that we can actually finish this thing today. Because this is not going to be just any freaking house, you guys. This is going to be the biggest house that you have ever seen. But hold your horses, because first we are going to be making a regular sized house, and then, well, you will see by the time that we get to that. But I can assure you that it is going to rock your freaking socks off. So be cautious for that, in case you really like your socks. Now that I think of it, I will actually be making a new studio for making cool music here, but that would make me an MC. I am going to be an MC that is just totally awesome to me. This might become a little annoying though, because it will be taking a lot of work to get finished. I mean, we need to make all of these cakes. Now of course we all know that sometimes we get annoyed in this game, right? I mean, we all have our differences, and usually they are only short lasting and they never really get that much out of hand, right? Well, today is the day that I snapped. I am just done with it right now. Again and again I keep having these people finding out where I live, and it is just driving me nuts. Now I have already tried training them in order to make them respect me and know a thing or two about the game. Now that did not work at all, because that literally just blew up in my face. But with this music I am going to produce, I would not mind that. Then I have gone the complete other way around, and I just started planting traps everywhere, which again just ended up blowing up in my face, taking my house with them. Then I give the training another shot, which did not work at all. And then after that everything got pretty calm again. But then people started stealing out of my chest, and that is when I went into full defense mode again, and I started hiding the tracks that I own just so that people could not get to them. I mean, a lot of stupid stuff has happened throughout the last couple of weeks, but you know, I guess that this is just my life right now. Even though I must confess that the things that we have been doing the last week are pretty okay. I mean, there were no sightings of random people who tried to mess with me or anything like that, so that is something that I really do appreciate right now. Now that does not mean that everything is over and said and done and all of that, because it is not. I can feel that a war is coming. I am just not sure about the timing of said war. It might be coming soon, but it might not. Right now I cannot give a clear answer on that, but what is necessary for me and my morale right now is that we get this house done. I mean, just look at how good we are doing with this house right now. So just take a look. And by the way, I hope that you are paying close attention, because I am not going to show you this again. But once we are done with this studio, I will have a new and cool little studio for myself to make music in. And of course you guys too. And you get something to do in your free time, like making music. That is like the best idea that I have ever come up with right now. But first things first, I am already proud of the fact that I was able to get the idea from myself, which I had applied to the music/stealing problem in my Minecraft world. So that was a pretty awesome thing, to be honest. But I was able to apply that same idea that I used on the creeper problem, and I am going to be putting it to work with the housing problem that I have got right now. But I am just hoping that once I am done with all of this right here, that I can just live here in peace again. But something is telling me that this will not work out the way that I wanted it to. It is just something that I feel coming up. I mean, that does not mean that this is a bad thing. I mean, I would rather have things go wrong while I am in the beginning stages of building this, because otherwise I would have to start all over again when I am almost done. But that is not something that I want to do right now. So I am just praying to the gods that this will all work out in one go this time. So let's hope so. But as I am saying right now, I will also be making some music after this. So watch me. This is going to be hard, but it is just something that I will have to cope with until everything right here has all been sorted out. And I can tell you that when the day comes, I am going to be celebrating so hard that it actually is pretty insane to myself. I mean, I am going to be excited like crazy once I am all done with this thing, because I just think that after all this time that I just deserve a little break from everything right now. I mean, we have been through a lot the last couple of months. As you may remember, The fact that Christmas ended was just a really big setback for me because I just love working under the spell of cakes and underneath the spell of the sugar. So to not have had that anymore is just a big blow for me personally. But I had to get through that, and I did get through that quite successfully. But that was the point where all of the noobs came tagging along and starting invading all of my personal space. And I know that all of this sounds really familiar and stuff. And to be honest, the last couple of months I have just been a broken record running over and over and over again. No pun intended. I am just thinking out loud right now, so just bear with me so that we can actually get done with some stuff right here. Because otherwise we are still going to be building on this thing for the better part of a year or something like that. But to be honest, that is just an educated guess on my end of the spectrum. But let's continue with what I was saying a minute ago. And I was talking about building a modern cool house. Because this is something that I think is really awesome, because the modern house is by far my favorite one out of all of the styles that you have got around here today. Which is not that good now that I start thinking about it. It is actually smart that I think about this kind of stuff right now before I start doing them in the first place. But still, that would be pretty cool. At least that is what I think. I mean, no one is going to expect a thing right now. And that is exactly what I want with this right here. So no one will ever be able to go and start stealing some of my ideas again, which is good, so that I do not have go out and make more stuff over and over again. Now you might be thinking, well, Sub-Zero Exabyte, why do you want to make music now? Or in this case try to make music to go ahead and feel nostalgic again? Well, that is actually a pretty long story, but to make it a little short for you guys, I just wanted to make something really cool for you guys, as in a video, and I just wanted this video to kind of hit home, so that you can watch this and it will make you appreciate your childhood and all of that, or just your youth in general, to be honest. And then I was thinking about the things that made me enjoy and love my childhood, and that was mostly just playing around in the summer, having those late nights where you had to sprint back home because the street lights turned on and you should have been home by the time that this happened. And I just wanted you guys to know that you should appreciate all of those things, because once you get older all of that is just going to be gone, and that is not a fun thing at all. But it is a part of growing up, and I personally never liked it. But now of course that does not correlate in with the fact that I wanted to go ahead and play more music in some kind of a studio like this one. And that is basically just because that is what I used to do when I was a kid, and I used to love it. Or actually, I will just go ahead and tell you the truth, I really did not ever go into an arcade hall myself. I am just going to be honest with you guys here. I never went there, but still, the thought of an arcade hall makes me feel really nostalgic, and I will tell you why right now. I used to love to watch Toy Story, like the movies, and you have got 3 movies right now. And you have got some kind of Christmas special if I remember correctly. But I used to love those movies, and honestly, I still love these movies. But lately the weather has been getting better, and it is starting to feel a little warmer out. And I just figured that this gave me a nostalgic feeling. And that is what I am going to be pursuing today, because it just felt so amazing. And you may be thinking, well, okay, Sub-Zero Exabyte, we have got that out of the way. But that really does not make any sense to why you want to go ahead and play music now. Well, if you have seen the first Toy Story movie, then you could tell that they go into some diner, where you can get pizza, and they have an arcade inside of that pizza store place thing. And that is why arcade halls make me feel nostalgic. And in Toy Story there was this song that goes like, "You've got a friend in me," because that always takes me back to Toy Story. And Toy Story always takes me back to my childhood, and that is just really cool in my opinion. So when you are growing up, you should look for those things. You should go ahead and look for the things that make you feel nostalgic to your childhood. And whenever you feel like that, you can just literally teleport back to your childhood. And that of course all just goes for feelings, right? I mean, you cannot literally teleport back into your childhood when you are watching Toy Story and feel nostalgic, but you can actually make your feelings go back to your childhood. And I cannot really explain the feeling of nostalgia. I just know that it feels really weird from time to time. And I know that I love this feeling because it is just the best thing out there. And I think that nostalgia is something really powerful when you are growing up, because it makes you feel right at home. Okay, let me just make this piano lesson a loss for me, because I am really bad at that. And we made that. Alright, that is cool. Now at least we gained some new piano skills, which is really good. But of course there is nothing as satisfying as finding out what actually makes you feel nostalgic. You know, I mean last week, or not actually last week, It was just a couple of days ago actually. I was just at home and I went to the gym in Roblox. It's Paradise City, and I just had some workout and stuff. But when I came out of the gym, the warmth, it was just weird. It felt like the first day of spring. But it is February, so that does not make any sense, right? But it was just pretty warm and stuff, and that just made me feel really freaking good. It was actually insane. And that will get me into what I was talking about. The feeling once you find out what is making you feel so nostalgic. And I found that feeling. I found what was making me feel nostalgic right then and there. It was the warm spring breeze that made me feel nostalgic, and the smell of summer was in the air. I really cannot describe exactly what it was like, but I just know that it made me feel really freaking good. There is nothing as good as a good nostalgic feeling. But I was trying to make a point, but I keep getting lost in my thoughts. So what I was trying to say is that when I was feeling all nostalgic when I left the gym, and I felt that breeze, and I started feeling all nostalgic, well, that is when I started to think, like, where is this feeling coming from? Because I wanted to find out why I was feeling all nostalgic at that point. And that is when I noticed it. I started thinking back at all the times where I felt that same breeze, and that same smell of the summer. And it just got me back to the old days, when I was just playing around with some friends in this suburban town that I grew up in. And it made me feel amazing. Actually, it just made me feel really good, because it took me back to all those long summer evenings where we would be playing hide and go seek in the entirety of the neighborhood. And we would just climb everywhere. We would be hiding in everybody their backyard. And no one would care about that, because everyone just knew each other back then. It was tight. Just as tight as the beats that we are making right here. I could go on and rant about that for the rest of the video, but I will just save you from that right now. I just want to touch up on one more thing and then I will just stop. But I honestly do not know why all of this just takes me back. But I feel like this is something that is really powerful for me. So I just hope that some of you might have that same thing going on whenever they see something that takes them back to when you were younger. And maybe you are too young to have that same feeling right now. But one day you will have that feeling of nostalgia, and it will take you back to that long and warm summer evening with all of your friends just playing around. And I get that not everyone still plays outside and stuff, so that might not apply to you. But one day, you will have that feeling of nostalgia, and it really does not matter where it will take you, but it is going to be taking you somewhere. And as long as that somewhere is something that makes you feel good and makes you feel at home, then that is a really powerful thing if you have got to ask me. And music does the same for me as well. Music can be really powerful, so leave me a comment down below with your favorite song. But you guys want to know something that I have heard a lot of times in the past, but still is not something that will take me back and will make me feel all nostalgic? Well, let me tell you this. It is all of those people who keep asking me about my freaking face. People have been asking me that for thousands of years, and I still do not get a nostalgic feeling from it. That might sound weird, right? No, it is not weird, because it is not something that I would like to touch up on, because it is such a sensitive subject for me. So let me put it like this for all of you guys to understand it forever. Since I am a CIA operative, the short answer will be no. But that will not satisfy your need for intelligence, nor does it satisfy me. So as I said, only few people have dared to ask me this question. Let me try and describe my face with words, so you can somehow sketch a thought of my face. Beneath the shroud that I call YouTube, there lies a face. And that face is best described as a mix between Roadkill and Ryan Reynolds. Oh wait, I believe that was a quote from Deadpool. But I guess mistakes can happen. Okay, I have quoted Deadpool a lot, so I might want to stop doing that in the future, because it might be getting kind of weird to me in the first place. Well, maybe I am Deadpool, and Sub-Zero is just some crazy secret identity. No way that would happen. It would be kind of cool though if you ask me. It was a good movie. At least that is my opinion on it. But I am not a movie critic. But that would be kind of cool though. I am a well-oiled machine, and really well-oiled. So maybe that will give you a slight hint at how old I am. I am not too old, because most people are not well-oiled machines, They are more like that old rusty car from Disney's Cars. And I am also not too young, because then I would not be a machine. So I guess they will keep you guessing for a while now, will it? Wait, how did I just get started on my age? That was not what was supposed to happen. There is something about this video. I mean, this is a video about nostalgia and games being nostalgic and all of that stuff. But this video will one day become nostalgic to me. That is so weird. So I might be watching this video in like 10 years. I am going to go ahead and leave you with this, and I will see you guys in the next video.